In this video, I'm going to run through how to control the APIs between projects using the Structure101 Modules feature. You switch on the Modules feature in Structure101 Studio by going to the tab here, Modules, and enabling whichever of the three kinds of modules checking you want to apply to your project. I'm going to switch them all on here. I'm also going to de-emphasize the cyclic dependency tangle checking in the UI here. These are some of the defaults that may be switched on for you. And I'm then going to emphasize the module violations instead. And in fact, I'm going to grow this modules violation list over the structural stuff there. Okay, the first kind of module API checking is where I have some code in a folder and I wish to control how that folder is accessed by other projects, by other parts of this project. And the way I do that, if I look inside this crypto, for example, folder here, I want to limit the access to the code inside crypto to this headers folder. Nothing other than what I put in this folder should be used from outside of crypto. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to convert crypto into a module. And what that effectively does, it says crypto folder now is considered to be a protected scope. You can see a lot of violations have appeared here. That's because nothing within crypto so far has been defined to be public. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now using the modules make public to enclosing module command. And that now says that the headers can be used, so a lot of those violations went away because they depend on it. But there's still something here dependent on something that's outside of the public area. I can navigate quickly to that place. I can see here it's this function here, and I'm guessing a supporting includes here. And I can drill down this side here to find out quickly where those dependencies go to get a better feel for what the problem is. And I can see here basically the problem is that there's a function here referencing a member in this class here is the problem, and then there's a supporting file to file includes dependency there. But this is the basic problem here. Now, maybe I would take a look at that and decide, well, actually, that can just move into the public area and I can create an action for that to happen by moving it across, and I'm now violation free. All that's being used here at this point is the headers as intended, the public folder. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to leave that there for now. The next thing I want to do is a common situation is that something is currently in the public header, but actually I want to move it out of the public header. I want to deprecate it. And we can do that quite simply. Let's say I want to deprecate the count bits. Maybe it should never have been used. Maybe I'm moving it to some other part. It's going to form part of an internal API or something else. But I can just select it there, go to the module submenu again and deprecate. And you see the little red triangle has appeared here, indicating that that's deprecated and shouldn't be used. At some point in the future, we expect to delete it from its current location, perhaps move it to a non-public location. And you can see here the deprecation violation is shown when I select it in the dependency breakout. The third and final kind of dependency control between folders, modules, teams, whatever you like, is to control which projects can use which other projects or which folders can use which other folders. In order for that to happen, both folders must be converted into modules. So let me just convert a couple more modules here. Controllers and ADDR module, convert those to modules. Now you can see a whole load more violations has appeared If I select one of those, I can see the kind of violation. It's called a requires violation. It just basically means that we haven't allowed dependencies to occur between controllers and crypto yet. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And the way I do it is I just select it there and I go to Module, Allow. And if I select that dependency again, you can see what exactly it did there. Let me sort here. What it does is it creates a direct dependency between the folders. Now, normally a folder wouldn't directly depend on another folder. It may depend on another folder due to code that both folders contain, referencing each other. But here it puts a direct dependency in, and that indicates that that is allowed, that dependency at that interface is allowed. I can go ahead and do something similar here, module, allow, but I'll leave this one here. That's going to be left in place as a violation. So downstream, the developers can figure out that there's a problem there and do something about it. And it'll be tracked, as I show you in a moment. So that's the basic mechanisms for API control across projects using modules. If you go across to the summary view, you'll see that the module information is included now in the summary page here. You can also go across to Workspace. So if the same project is saved, it can be reused by developers usually who are using the Workspace viewer. And they can go directly to any module related violations under this modules section in the lists at the bottom. And from there they can navigate directly to any problems. And from those problems, if you're using the IDE connector, you can jump directly across to the source code for any item, perhaps repair it or whatever. Finally, I'll just mention that the module stuff is also included now in the dashboard. So you'll be able to track any module information, how it's changing over time, the total number of module violations on the chart, as well as down the lists of specific violations will be included along with the other structural measures.